For my analysis of this week's, due to I being away and this being a debate-style tutorial, I'm going to be using else wide shut blog post about it, which I've linked in my Tumblr post, which has outlined the agreement of what happened inside the tutorial and the exact questions proposed. And then I'm going to just use my own analysis to expand on it. For the first one, the government. The first question is, what assets carry out? Okay, this is a discussion between should self-driving cars be allowed on the road and the risks involved. This is the threat analysis of that. And the two parties of the government and Giggle, and a discussion between the two. So the first thing says, what assets should we care about? For the government, as outlined in Auschwitz, it's the people and their safety, buildings, people in the transportation, gas money, legal stability, money. I should also include insurance. I know that might be an extension of legal. Was it jobs, but not really. Yeah, I would say insurance on top of that. And I feel like that's actually both overarching for both Google and the government. Also, I feel like reputation for government too. Like if they're the first to introduce this and it stuffs up, that's doesn't look good for the government. For Google, I agree with the reputation, technology of vehicles, all stakeholders, employees, money. Yep, I don't think there's any more to say to that. I agree with most of that list. Yeah. Okay, the threats are present for the government. Yeah, the no human element. I'm going to go that with the extension of saying also the laws behind having the no human element. Well, the software. Regulating the software. Well, that's the second one though. Car hacks, malfunctions. Like, I'm pretty sure you literally have got, this has all the ones I was going to say. Yeah, sharing money, responsibility, money. With Giggle, competing companies, for competing companies, I would also say that's a threat of not being introduced ASAP, because if they're second to line, that could represent the loss of reputation because of they aren't identified as the number one. I'll say not just the safety of their vehicles in general, biggest threat is I say pimping off cars liability, but like further on, repair, or was it garages and repair mechanics doing unauthorized repairs without not completely understanding how the system works. I feel like that's one of the biggest threats for Giggle, because of if done wrong, that could cause unexpected malfunction which the computer might not be able to handle, or they might insert something which unheard of. I guess that's what you get off with pimping off cars and liability, but I feel like just repair in general is probably a massive threat. And price. If the driver requires too much technology, the cost of the car is going to go up, and therefore, to adhere to certain regulations, it could cause the prices to go up, and therefore loss of sales. So yeah, I think another threat is just money. Actions that need to be taken and who are responsible. I agree with predatory training, data collection, government on both the collection and the discussion between it to ensure that all new companies that come into the game are on the same footing. Software development and managed testing. Yep. Make sure not just Google. I want the government to actually create a standard of which all software has to pass before it can actually before it gets actually implemented into the system. So then, therefore, there's a global standard for everyone. Also, allow manual overrides. Manufacturer allow. Yeah, basically, if the situation doesn't feel comfortable with the driver, allow the driver to take control. I feel like that's obviously Giggle's manufacturing problem. I also gonna say retraining of like repair was it mechanics, and I feel like that's going to be responsible of both Giggle and the government, as the government has to lay out new regulations, certificates for the repair, and ensure there's a standard of which they have to help, and Giggle to actually train and justify and tell them what they expect. What they expect in the internet. My verdict: if Giggle can verify that, if they can justify that their system is secure enough in terms of like impenetrability, and if their sensors and that stuff can come down to a sensible moral. Well, no. If they can guarantee retraining, not just the mechanics, but people themselves, to ensure that the car is treated as such, I feel like it should be fine. It has to abide to. It should be fine, but it should be done only in a subset of space initially. Currently, I don't feel like it should be on massive scale, and it shouldn't be instantaneous. I still think it's fine to be on roads, but on a really reduced speed limit, like only through the suburbs at 50 k's. Until they can guarantee, but even before that, I changed my mind. I'm going to say no. Until they can guarantee just the laws alone, if they can't, until they can guarantee the laws can clearly state who's at fault and the regulations around these cars, I can't see this being allowed on the streets currently, in its current state. Even if it has a highly intelligent AI and blah, 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 it just, for the legal reasons that if something does go wrong, that 1%, we can't, one, shift the blame, and two, like, if there's no regulations, then it's like, how do you know it's a good AI? And that's the issue. We need regulations more than anything else from the government. Thanks.